Hey everyone, today I'll quickly and fully explain what an aspect is in Diablo 4, how, when, and why to use them. You drop a like and subscribe, I'll give you the guide. Legendary aspects are properties on legendary items that add or modify certain stats of characters and/or their skills or abilities. Aspects come in 5 types: offensive, defensive, resource, utility, and mobility. Each category can only be applied to specific gear types. Aspects unlock and become available the moment any legendary item drops. This happens early in leveling and has nothing to do with world tier. So when you start seeing legendaries depends only on your character level. Level up to around 40 to 45 on normal, then switch to hard. The values of aspects depend on the level of the item itself and the number of greater affixes on it. You can get an aspect from any legendary item. You can slowly improve it up to about the middle of its range even with basic legendaries. But to max it out, you need high-level gear with 1 or more greater affixes. Sometimes you won't see a max roll aspect even after 200 hours of play, so don't be scared. How to extract aspect. Aspects are taken from legendary items or found in dungeons. Extraction is done by salvaging items that contain them at the blacksmith. After salvage, aspects go into the codex of power, where they are stored. Over time, better versions replace older, weaker ones. Almost all aspects in the game have value ranges. This is the key mechanic pushing you to keep upgrading them. If an aspect improves after salvaging a specific item, you'll see an icon on it before salvaging. That means when you salvage that item, its better version goes into the Codex of Power. After a while, you'll notice aspects stop improving from basic legendary salvage. From that point, stop picking them up and only grab items with 1 star or more. It's usually happen about 220 to 240 Paragon. The Codex of Power itself is opened with the Y key and shows all the aspects we have and their levels. They're also sorted here into the categories I mentioned earlier. You can filter the display of aspects by your current class, by whether they can be found in dungeons, and by favorites. Tip: before you start playing, you can find the aspects you need for your build. Mark them as favorites with the space bar, and then not see the other aspects you don't need right now. Right here we can also find any aspect by its name or part of its name and see where and how to get it. Some key leveling aspects we can get from dungeons. Note that you can get an aspect at the very first character levels from the basic version of dungeons, not necessarily Nightmare. If an aspect says it's available in dungeons, left-click on it and follow the route the game sets. Each aspect for each class has its own aspect locations. There's a guide on the new Nightmare dungeons on the channel, link in the description. General rule here: aspects that are only available from salvaging items can't be found in Nightmare dungeons, but aspects from dungeons can be obtained from salvaging items. Now a few words on can you remove an imprinted aspect. You can't remove an aspect and there's no need to, but you can replace it. Anytime in any town, go to the occultist and swap the aspect in any item for the one you need. Of course, the target aspect must already be unlocked and must match the gear type. You can also imprint any aspect onto any yellow item. Just remember that the item's power, as well as the number of core stats and their values, are inherited from the original item. Rule for everyone: you cannot remove an imprinted aspect, you can only replace it. Also note that an aspect's power sometimes depends on the type of item it's on. The game doesn't tell you this up front, but it's visible in the planner. Best way to get aspects. I won't say anything new here because the most effective way to farm aspects is 100% the same as the most effective way to farm legendaries themselves, and it's covered in detail in a separate video. I'll just mention that gambling is a pretty good extra way to farm aspects. Aspect not working. If it's grayed out, it means this aspect is already on another piece of your gear, so you cannot use the same aspect twice. Each aspect is one-time use only. Aspects new season. With the start of every season, you have to collect all aspects again. Aspects new character. If your new character is in the same game mode as your previous one, all aspects you got before are shared. For example, you played one character in the season and a week later switched to another class. In that case, all previously obtained aspects will be available for the new character too. But if you decide to switch from softcore to hardcore, you won't have aspects from softcore there. In the Eternal Realm, all aspects obtained before in all seasons you've played are available. But again, softcore and hardcore are separate. Aspects can be bought and sold. There are separate filters for that on the Diablo.trade website. There's also a trading guide on the channel. Don't be afraid to start, because without trading you won't reach the highest levels of the game. But you can totally play without it. And what are these high levels in Diablo 4? Well, the ladder on helltides.com. If you've got a competitive spirit, that's your thing. Yes, there's also aspect unique. Legendary and mythical items also have aspects, but you can't extract or change them. That's all for now. Appreciate you watching. Good to see you. Bye.